Hello, everyone. It's me, Em, and I'm coming to you from Chicago. It's hard to believe we're already over a full month into the new year. I'm excited for 2023, and I try to continue to remind myself that the foundation I'm building in my life right now is for long-term contentment and not just short-term pleasure. Now, don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with short-term pleasure. But I'm way more interested in creating stability in all aspects of my life that can help me maintain balance. My dear friend and coach, Jim Herbert, talks about the 4 pillars of life. He identifies the 4 pillars that help us support our life as being our vocation, our home, as he calls it, the nest, our connection to God source energy, and our human relationships. When all 4 pillars are stable, everything in life is pretty easy. When one or more of the pillars are destabilized or even crumbling, things can get a little trickier. I've been doing my best to continue to shore up the things that I have some level of control over in my own life. As most of you know, I've been fortunate to be able to recently buy my home in Chicago, so I now have long-term security with the place that I live. I'm very much at peace with my spiritual path, in addition to my deep love for my Judaism. I have an open heart and mind to all others and all spiritual traditions. I'm way more about focusing on our similarities than I am about pointing out our differences. This year, I'm also focused on devoting more time and attention to my career path as an inspirational speaker, and even just being an inspirational person in general. I've set a goal to create even more creative content this year, and while I'm not exactly sure what that looks like, I know that I'm committed to the cause. Relationships can be the trickiest part of finding stability with the 4 pillars of life. I'm thankful to have a wide circle of friends, and I think all of you know how important my family is to me. I've even reached a new level of peace with being a single person more than a dozen years after my marriage ended. While I'm certainly very open to being in a relationship, I'm just not as attached to it, and I don't feel like I require it to feel complete as much as I used to. And that gives me a certain level of peace of mind as we approach what can sometimes be one of the most challenging holidays for people as it relates to relationships. Valentine's Day. Finding love and or being in love can be one of the most challenging things we face as humans. Most of the single people that I know would do anything to find a perfect life partner. On the flip side of that, plenty of other people that I know that have partners are unsatisfied with the nature of the relationship and sometimes wish they were single. I've been out there in the dating scene on some level for over a decade now, and I've had more than my fair share of experiences. It used to be that I thought my life was somehow not complete unless I was working on finding a new relationship or building a new relationship that I already had. I even worked with both a matchmaker and a dating coach at one point. More recently, I've come to realize that the most important loving relationship that I'll ever be in for my entire life is the relationship I have with myself. If I somehow feel like I'm broken or incomplete because I don't have a date on Valentine's Day or any other day for that matter, it doesn't matter if this perfect partner finds their way into my life. I'd still be lacking that contentment that I'm seeking if I don't have a deep and accepting love of myself. So on this Valentine's Day, regardless of whether you have a personal Valentine or not, I encourage you to celebrate how much you love yourself. If you're single like me, maybe go out to lunch or dinner by yourself without worrying about what other people might think. Take a walk outside and spend a little time noticing the beauty of simple things like a bright color that catches your eye, or somebody else laughing or smiling, or something else that you might otherwise not pay attention to. Think about the parts of yourself that you previously or currently saw as flaws or weaknesses, and think about how they might actually be your superpower. In doing things like these things and anything else you can think of to enhance self-love, you'll not only be having your best Valentine's Day ever, you'll be building a foundation to greater contentment in all aspects of your life. Well, that's all for this time. Sending you lots of love. Happy Self-Love Day.